I don't know how to respond to this. It's been 2 weeks since the end. Cody Rhodes vowed to finish the story, finish the story, finish the story, and finish the story. And yeah, we finished a story, all right. The story of ever giving a damn. I mean, oh god. Like, here's the thing. We need to have this little discussion about Roman Reigns and his run as a champion. So, yes. What happened at Mania solidified. WWE just couldn't stop the temptation of a 1,000-day reign. Because we'll never have this kind of opportunity again, probably in our lifetime, if WWE makes it that long, or if we make it as a society. WWE had announced that they were going. WWE and Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns had this bit of a debacle because there was like the 1,000-day reign dream, and then there's the whole WWE is currently being WWE. But the biggest problem with Roman Reigns' title run, and this is how problematic it can be at times, despite the good matches we've gotten out of it and some of the progression stories and showcasing nuance to characters and whatnot, like the Usos, Sami Zayn, and all that, and the bond of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns as a champion has been defined. You truly get defined by a champion if you have threats to your reign of power. And Roman's booking has made it really hard for you to really get that vibe that this title run is threatened. So, before Cody Rhodes, when was the last time Roman ever felt threatened? Like his title run could be legitimately threatened, where you had this confidence that there's a huge chance Roman could lose this. The last time you had that vibe was back at Clash of the Castle with Drew McIntyre. Okay, now name a time when he was last feeling threatened of his title run before Clash of the Castle. Nope. He hasn't had a... There's no... But before Drew McIntyre, like, I always had these vibes that I would feel Roman only felt threatened if the moment was right. Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. There was a time that it was looking like his title run was threatened by Brock Lesnar at WWE Day 1, and then Roman got sick with COVID because Vince is an idiot and decided to budget cut COVID testing because, you know, that was always going to happen. Freaking moron. And long and behold, Roman got sick, so they had to scrap the plan for that. So if you cut that part, that thought out process, Roman Reigns from when he started his championship run, and you could probably make the argument Edge and Daniel Bryan was a threat, but at the same time it was like Daniel Bryan is too humble. Edge is at an age where he probably doesn't want to be champion anymore, despite WWE, and he probably would have fought it. So there's a chance he was perfectly alright with that. So you still never got that vibe his title run was threatened, even with the triple threat main event. That was for me, at least. It could be different for everyone else. Maybe you felt Roman was threatened when he fought Cesaro or whatnot. Like I didn't, but that's a different matter. So, yeah. Roman Reigns' title run has had very little threats. Even when Sami Zayn was super over and was knocking it out of the park with his segments, when it came to doing the match at Elimination Chamber, I never felt like his run was really threatened. Which is kind of a problem when you don't have the believability going on. You don't have that tension in you watching this match and it's like, it's going to be a good match. Roman's going to win. Like, they're not going to do it. They're not going to kill off this run at a B-level pay-per-view event. Like, this is not the risk-taking WWE they used to be. And to do it before Mania especially, that only happens on rare occasions, and that's only because they had another storyline that was multiple months out. So, yeah. Like, as much as we like John Cena losing his title 2 weeks after Royal Rumble, the fact that it was his 16th title run, and it ended after only 2 weeks, and he wasn't even the last fall guy in that chamber match, should say a lot. If anything, they should have held off giving Cena the title belt until probably till late in the year, or hell, even just never do it and just have AJ Styles drop the belt at Elimination Chamber to Bray Wyatt and all that. That's how I saw it. But yeah, you were never gonna get that kind of vibe with Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. Cody, in my honest opinion, is the last guy to believably be the one that could threaten Roman's title run. There's no one else left now. And that says a lot. You had this opportunity to really solidify that, yes, even if you're AEW, you were a big name there, we can make you a big name here and still make something out of it. And now, after what happened, I'm kind of convinced MJF might be like, oh, F this, I'm out. I'll probably tease about it, but I'm probably going to stay. Like, this has probable far-reaching ramifications with WWE trying to acquire AEW talent more than, well, not as much as when Vince came back, because, you know, Vince is back and all that, and the disastrous Raw after Mania that happened. And there was a bunch of speculation over how this happened. Like, some people thought it turns out this decision was made about multiple weeks in advance, and they kept it very, very secretive. And this was apparently even not including the Endeavor deal that happened. I never talked about that, but yeah, WWE got bought by Endeavor. We'll see how the finalization process goes through. But that's the big deal. I thought for sure they were gonna, like, they could do the leap of faith, but, you know, this is WWE. Why take a leap of faith, even though it won't hurt us in the long run, when we could just take the safe route and make more money, and also make an artificial run even longer. And people were now thinking, like, at this point, like, and here's the thing, I had several worries that Cody wasn't gonna win for one particular reason. Reportedly, had they gotten The Rock, because that was a plan at one point, get The Rock for Hollywood Mania, they were going to go ahead and just make a bronze world title and just give it to Cody or Seth or Drew, because, you know, that's going to be a great idea for fans. Not really. That would have happened, and we all would have hated it. But it's still there. But The Rock did come back, and I had confidence that this was probably going to be the case, that Cody would win. And now that, and then right before the night 2, Roman Reigns and the Usos and the rest of the Bloodline got a message from Dwayne saying maybe he'll see them down the road. And even though a report came out that he's not fully committed to WrestleMania 41, well, now the idea is out there again, and in the wildfire, even though you missed your shot here, even though this would have been the perfect way to do it, and the fact that you have 2 nights means that Roman could have fought both nights, and Cody could have fought both nights, and then you could have had a believability equal status here. But, that's not what they did. And if Roman and The Rock do collide next year at WrestleMania 41, at WrestleMania 40, I mean, I'll be like saying this: Roman's not going to lose that title till WrestleMania 41. Yeah, he's not going to lose it till 2025 if The Rock is guarantees down the road he's going to fight Roman at WrestleMania next year. So, yeah, there's that fear. But the match itself, the Roman Reigns Cody match, let's talk about that. It's awesome. It's beautiful. It's crafted. The ending is what killed it for so many people. That and a rubber chicken, but that was a fan throwing something in the ring. And they even referenced it on TV the next week. We were all thinking Cody was going to win. The presentation was there, the vibe was there, the energy was there, and WWE really could solidify that even if you're all elite, you can be the top player still in WWE, even if you go all elite and come back to us or join us and whatnot. And I really think, now this is just my 2 cents, I really think this also has far-reaching implications for future AEW signings, because it's like, we can still get the main event WrestleMania, but we'll always be second fiddle to your elite powerhouse Roman. So there's that vibe. And considering a report came out that WWE is going to split the titles down the road before SummerSlam, it kind of gives this vibe that WWE is just going to tell Cody Rhodes to go shove it, essentially. And just give him the bronze title, world title belt. Yeah. And especially since reportedly heading into Mania, they already had the design finalized for the new world title belt design. And we all thought Cody was going to be the one giving it. And after Mania, like on the Raw after Mania, he would be given the new world title design and solidify this next big chapter for WWE. As Cody has finally finished the story, and now he can go ahead and defend his kingdom and whatnot. But no, that's not what happened. And here's the other thing that pissed people off. If Roman was going to win, well, let me be clear about this. If Roman was going to win, you would have to have done a specific criteria to really justify the victory. Having the repeat of Clash of the Castle, where Solo Sikoa screws Cody Rhodes like he did to Drew McIntyre, that wasn't the way to go. There were so many other ways you could have done this, probably, or hell, just go and balls out and just have Roman beat Cody clean. There were only like 2 ways. If Randy Orton was able to be healthy in time for it, or at least just do it, like come in and just do it once and then leave for a little bit, RKO Cody Rhodes and cost him the match. Or if they could now have the Jay White, if they had the chance, they could have had Jay White screw Cody and you could have had a feud over that. But Jay White's in AEW now, and they have All In come in. Oh yeah. So that happened. So Cody was in a position. So the Roman winning match result was always going to be probably screwed up. It was either going to be Roman beats Cody clean and we just end it right there, or Solo Sikoa or anyone else screwed Cody, or hell, like this pissed a lot of people off. I had to see this on Twitter, on YouTube. I had to see some of my ATW buddies go ahead and get pissed off over this. Like, one has announced their intention to never watch WWE for the foreseeable future. It's just, you had such a major opportunity to establish the new Mega Cena here. Cody, yes, I know he's pushing up there in age, but he still can go. And he even admitted that he has now a much bigger longevity in wrestling joining WWE than he did in AEW. Probably because Cody's not setting himself on fire with tables every week. Seriously, what the hell, man? I am still baffled by that. I get the audience hates you back then, but like, dude, that was not the way to go, I feel. I think there would have been other ways, like a simple, I'm sorry for my patriotic rants and whatnot, even though you did apologize and regretted that, and that still wouldn't sway people over. Once you have to reach, hey, can I set myself on fire and have my head get burned? No. That's where Tony Khan should have stepped his foot down on that. But that's just me. to see this ending we got pissed me off. I was ready to go on the next night to talk on my podcast on this channel, talk about the greatness that they have, the potentials that they can do with this, the downfall of the bloodline, and they don't. I had to wait this out. I unfortunately had to bring myself to just wait to see what the reports come out about, what all this says, and yeah, apparently Endeavor's purchasing of WWE wasn't the reason. Triple H just made the decision. Raw after Mania, when that happened, here's the thing. I think people would have been alright if Raw after Mania was bad so long as Cody won. But when you had Cody lose and the reaction it got, you really should have went all out, no pun intended, to make this the best damn Raw after Mania just to justify that ending. But no, the Raw after Mania sucked. I refused to watch it just for that. I refused to watch it just after that ending, and I said, not even if Jay White shows up, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna watch Raw after Mania for this. I'm not gonna waste 3 hours of my life on a show that clearly still hates us more than it loves us. So, yeah, that had happened, and then I heard what happened at the end of Raw, where Cody gets his ass kicked for nearly 10 minutes, and by Brock Lesnar to build a feud up for that. And I was just thinking to myself, where's Kevin and Sammy? Aren't they friends? Like, Kevin and Sammy try to beat Roman Reigns as well at Mania, and Sammy even delivered a haluva kick to help Cody get the victory during the wild brawl that happened with the Usos and KO and Sammy in the match when they came out and fought. Like, that happened, and then they don't help when Cody's getting his ass handed to him by Brock Lesnar. They don't, from what I gathered, they didn't establish it later in the night before the match that, oh, let's go out for a couple of drinks or do something fun or leave the arena. No. And this is the part where I'm just going to say, even if Triple H was the one booking that show, which reportedly Vince may have booked it, the signs were there, Seth Rollins was reportedly pissed off, the roster was muted, rewrites were happening in the middle of the show. That's all the staples of a Vince McMahon production. So I do feel like Vince was booking the show that night just for one last hurrah of shit. So if that was the case, fuck. But Vince also has a history of doing this. Like, he has an established precedent. Remember 2015, Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker, and the Wyatt family coming out and attacking Undertaker. And people would be like, where's Roman and Seth? What's Roman and John Moxley? Shouldn't they be out here helping kicking Wyatt's ass with the Phenom? And you would be correct. They probably would have done that. Had it not been established the night prior, had it not been established the night during Hell in a Cell, Roman and John Moxley decided to go out and have a couple of drinks to celebrate, the defeat of Bray Wyatt in the Hell in a Cell match. So they had an established plot point to get out of the show so they don't get involved in the ending, which is saying that if Triple H was booking the show doing that, I would have been like, oh my god, Triple H, you made a Raw that was so bad, you're making me say it would be better if you did something that Vince did. Which makes me sad to say that, because now I have to have the imprinted memory that I said Vince did this better than Triple H, when Vince has been producing shit over shit over shit for years, and I have to say that now. And look, I get it. Triple H is not going to be producing gold over and over and over and over and over and over every single fucking week. We established that. We acknowledge that. But I just want some consistency. Like, it could be good. You can book a good Raw for 3 hours, and you could book a good SmackDown. You don't need to have every single show be banger after banger after banger after banger, because that's just gonna burn your quality and content out. Like, and plus you have pay-per-views every month, sometimes 2 a month, but that's a different subject. So at least I get it. And there are going to be duds, but the badness of this Raw was bad. Like, bad upon bad. And I was sorry for Cody. Like, oh God, you had... And Triple had to try so hard to justify the ending. Say the story's never finished. Then and there were reports that they felt like Cody needs to have more adversity to justify this. No, you really didn't need to, because sometimes, and I recall seeing a tweet about this when he talked about it inside the mark on Twitter. He said sometimes the obvious decision is the right decision. He's right. Sometimes when it's the obvious decision, it can be the right decision. And to see them say, nope, we're not doing that. We're not doing the obvious. It's just depressing that they were just so messed up to do this. And it bothers me. Like, this is what he wrote. Sometimes the obvious is the right choice. Sometimes the obvious is the only choice. Sometimes the story that is so good is run into the ground well beyond its expiration date. I could not care less about what happens next. My story has been finished. I'm free. Like, here's the thing. The fact that they were trying to, and then Tribalists were trying to defend this, saying Cody needs more adversity, and I was like, the guy wrestled with a torn pec, and even he regrets doing that match. And I still say that was fucked up to do. Yes, he couldn't be torn. It couldn't be further torn off or hurt more damage, but like the precedent you set, man. Now Finn Balor's going ahead, wrestling still with a second level torn calf injury, and he has his skull split open. You don't see a problem here? Or what Kenny Omega did when he kept constantly going ahead and saying, I can keep going, I can keep going, I can keep going until the wheels fall off. I'm wrestling with vertigo. I'm wrestling with multiple cuts. I'm wrestling with multiple bruises. I'm wrestling to the point that I need to get stem cells injected into me just to give myself in workable order. My knees are completely shot, and I've become Hiroshi Tanahashi with my knee level problems. Oh, God damn it. This is like... It's like if you had Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. Like, people were pissed that it didn't get concluded at All Out like it was clearly going to do. But then we heard why, and we were like, oh, okay, that's understandable. You get one chance, you get one pass on this AEW. You have to have it happen at Full Gear. They did have it happen at Full Gear. Hangman had a good run with the title, and despite everything that happened at the end, it was always planned for Punk to win the world title, even if he didn't want to win it, so then he could drop it to MJF. If Punk didn't join AEW, Hangman would have definitely dropped it to MJF. That's my opinion, at least. But then Punk joined, and that shifted things. And we all know what happened afterwards. But, yeah, that's what happened. That's clearly what was also going to happen. But, enough about that part. The fact that if AEW had done what WWE did and had the obvious decision go the opposite way, and not, despite the fact they made so much sense and it was the right choice, I would have been royally pissed. Everyone would have been royally pissed, especially since you had spent what 2.5 years building this moment, and you said, fuck it, let's just switch the ending and have Kenny retain, even though he was like one injury away from being in a wheelchair with the level of craziness he was doing every week. It's just depressing. So, yeah, I'm not watching WWE again. I might not even watch Backlash this month. I don't care about Cody and Brock Lesnar. He doesn't need to face more adversity. Everything was right. He was red hot as a face. He was red hot heading into Mania. He was red hot in that match. And yet still didn't want to do it because tension and records and 1,000 days that's going to be celebrated in the goddamn Saudi Arabian country that has a horrible human rights issue. I'm like, America's not doing so well either, but that's a different matter. And WWE's going to celebrate the 1,000-day reign at the fucking country that went ahead and had a hostage situation. I'm like, I know they're gonna say mechanical issues, but let's be real, that even some of the talent backstage and people who were no longer in WWE kept going on interviews saying, yeah, this kind of looks like what we think it is. So yeah, Roman's gonna reach 1,000 days and I won't be watching it because I refuse to watch the Blood Money shows. So I'm out of that. I'm not interested in Backlash. I haven't even been watching WWE pay-per-views. Heck, I didn't even watch most of Mania throughout the both nights. I just mostly were like, okay, this match is going on here, this match is going on here, I'll just skip that, and I'll watch this. Like, I think I watched, like, only 3 matches on night 2 and 4 matches on night 1 that I was ever remotely interested in. Like, I didn't care about Dominic and Mysterio's match. Like, I just didn't care. I mean, like, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, Cody, I'm sorry, man, that you couldn't finish the story for arbitrarily forced reasons that make no sense. That Triple H had tried his damn best to try and descend this. It's just... like I said about Inside the Mark, sometimes the obvious choice is the right choice. A lot of people were rooting for Cody that night. A lot of people wanted it to happen. There's nothing left for Roman to do. Like, there's no one legitimately left. Like, you could probably say Bobby Lashley, but, like, he's not legitimately a threat to Roman's power. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if they did do that match for Clash of the First Night of Champions. Oh, by the way, Sammy and KO might lose their tag team titles by then because fuck that. Because fuck going to the Saudi government because Saudi government hates Sami Zayn especially due to his heritage. Woo! And KO's not going to go out of protest for his buddy, his brother in arms. So yeah. We're in this conundrum. I was so hyped for this ending to end the way I had hoped and everyone thought it was going to go. And reportedly, they had this struggle for weeks heading into Mania. Like, they were like, Cody or Roman. Cody or Roman. They hadn't had a decision until like halfway into the build up to the show. They had it finalized. They kept it under wraps. And yeah, the betting odds were really up for Cody, and Roman won. So I'm pretty sure a lot of Roman bettors are 100% rich from that ending. So at least someone got happy out of it. Oh God. I'm just glad I have an alternative to watch. Let's just say that. I'm just really glad I have an alternative that doesn't make me infuriated every single chance it gets. But we'll see what happens down the road. I do not know what's going to happen with Cody after Brock Lesnar. I don't even know what they're going to... Like, even if he gets... Like, here's the thing. If Cody somehow wins the title between SummerSlam to Mania, I don't think I'll have the emotional to care, because it would be like, now that we have an established president of the WWE could give two fucks about the obvious choice, I'll be just like, I'll still be hesitant to buy into that this is the ending, because I know there's going to be a screw job potentially. So yeah, those were my thoughts and my crazed opinions on this whole thing and this whole mess. Props to Cody and Roman. They had a hell of a match. I'll give them that. They had a fucking awesome match. They knocked it out of the park. The ending is what killed it for people. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents. I hope you all have a good day. I'm trying to get back things in order with content making. When you're operating 2 channels and have a gaming channel, you just need a break a little bit sometime. But we'll see y'all again next time. This is Neo Reality Entertainment, the NRE, the WrestleVerse. I'll see y'all again next time. Peace and take care. Have a good day. Take care, and I'll see y'all again next time. Peace.